Sup nerds, I'm Tom.
And I'm Aaron.
We're Neverboard Gaming and we're taking a look at Okey Dokey by Tasty Minstrel Games.
Okey Dokey is a cooperative game where you're trying to get all of the cards from this deck laid out in a nice pretty grid in numerical order. Kind of. I mean, you get these rest cards
that reset it. Like it doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, but it just has to, whatever card you play has to be higher than the number beforehand, and the rest will wipe it clean. It's a 0.
Yeah, exactly. What makes it hard is you have very limited communication. You can look at your hand and know the cards you have, but you can't tell your partner what you have, or everyone else on the table. This is my partner.
Yeah.
So you're looking at this, you're like, oh man, guys, I really want to play on blue, and that's kind of all you can say. Other people are like, I could play on blue too, but you're like, no, I should play on blue.
And even that, like it says in the rule book, like obviously you can't show your hand and you can't say or hint the value of the cards. You can say how many of a suit. You can say I want to play this suit.
I have 5 blues. Like I got blue on lock.
Yeah, but you can't. It says you can't hint at the value. So like there are times when we're playing, we'll be like, nah, dog, I've got a really good play on blue, or like I really don't want to play blue, and like it's arguable. I guess you can house rule it, but it's arguable that is too much.
That's a handicap.
Yeah, there you go. So like it's even if you play on hardcore mode when you don't even say that, when you're restricted to just like
blue.
Yeah, blue, me. Like that's it.
The more you limit yourself, the harder you make the game, the harder the experience is, like the more reward you'll feel if you can actually beat this game. They actually put these those equal cards, which you can make it easier, which are definitely recommended for the first couple playthroughs, because if you play a couple out of turn, like you play them too early and you get locked up, you're like, well, we can't rest anymore. Let's put that pause there to have it equal out.
Yeah, and you can either have all 3 of them in there, or 2, or 1, or none to change the difficulty. And actually, I don't know if I've ever played without them. I think I've played with less than 3, but I've never played with none, because that would be like darn near impossible. Yeah. Especially if you say that what we were saying is kind of sort of cheating and we're giving too many hints. Then I'm like, oh well, this is just ridiculous.
But it's supposed to be a light, fun game.
Yeah.
Similar to Hanabi, if you've played that. Just very limited communication, but trying to work together and overcome that.
And the other little twist to this is that the rest that we were talking about that resets one row, because as you can see here, we have a red row, orange, green, whatever, and you can rest once you start getting too high. That's not optional. You have to rest exactly one time in every single column. So when I'm teaching this to people, I'm like, well, we're supposed to rest blue. It's like, oh, we don't need to rest blue right now. Like, no.
We have
to rest something, and right now it's going to need to be blue because, for whatever reason, And who is going to play what card is also really important. We could both be like, oh, we could both play on the red row. That's no problem. But trying to figure out who is going to do that. Okay, well, if I play in the red row, where can you play that's different? Or if,
exactly.
Whatever. Or who is going to take that rest? Because the rest is, while it's necessary, it's also kind of valuable because you can also burn cards from your hands to draw more.
Yeah, like, oh,
so you really do need to work together. And it was actually, I was playing this with my buddy Will, and he actually, when it would come to his turn, he would just kind of go, okay, and just play a card. I'd be like, whoa.
Communication.
I like that you're confident in what you play, but we have to at least talk about it to some degree, because especially since he was like going second to last before the column was done. So I'm like, okay, so you just played a card on purple. Orange is the only thing that's left. If this guy doesn't have an orange, you just lost us the game. That's exactly what you did, Yeah,
you definitely have to go, okay, can I play here? Will you be able to cover this? If I play here, can you play there? There's definitely that kind of communication is going on. If not, you guys will have a bad time and you will lose this game.
But I don't want to say that to make you think this is a really difficult game, especially when you play with the equals cards, because actually I think playing with the equals cards I've never lost. Or if I lost, we lost on like the last card or 2. But like it's a really fun, easy game when you play with the equals cards. The difficulty can ramp up, but it's definitely not a game like where you are like, oh, we almost never win. We lose like, 80% of the time we play this. Not really. It's just an enjoyable time, whether you win or lose, especially because if you lose, you usually lose in like the last few cards, so you still get to play most of the game, and you're like, we lost.
Yeah, if you lose up here, you didn't understand the rules. And
you weren't communicating, probably.
Yeah, exactly. So the box says 14 and up, but I actually think you could play this a little bit younger because it's not like you said, it's not that complicated. It's just about communication. So if you have somebody, 8, 7, in that age range, if they're have the mental capacity to actually think, like, it's just numbers and putting them in order, like.
And yeah, I've seen kids at that age playing Magics, and this is no problem for them. Yeah.
So this game is about music, and you can see it kind of throughout. Like, the orchestra conductor is a panda bear. He's on the front cover. He's on all the rest cards, and then you have like the different types. You have like the vocals and the brass, and then you have like the violins and the
strings, percussions.
And then the keys, the piano. You can see it in the artwork. Like, if you look at each one of them, it's like, okay, and all the vocal ones, here's a bird that's got a microphone, here's a ferret on a microphone, and a cat, singing. So there's just like, it's kind of cool to see like all the animals, coming together to make this rock band.
And it's also kind of funny because a lot of people won't notice that at first. They'll just be looking at the colors and the numbers, and a lot of people will stop and they'll go, wait a minute, there's a mouse on this card!
Overall, I like Okey Dokey for what it is. For a small box game that is, all about communication and trying to work together. Cooperative games have always been one of my favorites, and this is a very light one, and it fits very easily on my shelf. It's just boop, right there. Like, it's very tiny, and it gets the job done. It's not a game that I'm going to go to a ton, but like, I can throw it in the trunk of my car when I go, hang out with the family. Like, this is something my grandma can play. Like, my mom can play this. Like, it's a simple game. But it's good. I like it.
I wholeheartedly agree with Aaron. It's not Game of the Year, but exactly for what it is, for a very light filler co-op game, which there aren't a lot of light filler co-op games. Like Hanabi is the only other one I can think of. This one is super solid. It's really fun. It's quick. It has the "We Won" card that you can pose pictures with. Whoa, we won! Yeah. You can play it with family. You can travel with it super easily. It's cheap. For the price point, it's totally worth it. And again, I'm not going to play it all the time, but as a filler game, again, that's co-op. Like a lot of filler games are like really little competitive. Oh, I'm gonna steal your points and tiny little woos. But this one, co-op. And Hanabi, while it's really fun, the hidden information aspect is so paramount to the gameplay that one little mistake and everyone goes, "Bah!" And you're kind of. But like in this game, someone could still be like about to play a card and they'll be like, "Oh, whoa!" And like technically it's breaking the rules, but it's not that big a deal. You're like, all right, fine, whatever. Let's just keep going, And so for that reason, I highly recommend you go check out that purchase link in the description box down below and get yourself a copy.
And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never be bored. Okey Dokey?
Okey Dokey?
Okey Dokey?
Okey Dokey, let's do this!
Da, 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 da. So in this game, it's an orchestra that you're trying to...
Do you think we're going to use any of that? That is terrible.